6.
Oh, excellent connection, she's saying. I haven't seen anything yet, though. Ooh.
My connections.
Oh, you did such a good job, Chris. Look at you there with your Rubik's.
Oh, did I? Why am I not seeing anything? Oh, there it comes.
Don't forget to mute it.
Uh-huh, I'm waiting. Oh, okay.
Is it
Are we
still a
doing good
Rubik's
job? Can we
Cube?
see everybody? Can I hear you, Brian?
I can hear you.
Should I
Well, it's
listen
not
to the live
Rubik's
stream?
Cube brand, so I don't know if you can call it a Rubik's Cube. But it's a
speed
4x4.
Tubby. Speed
It
cube.
is a speed cube. And it has magnets, which make everything better.
I like magnets. Magnets are my friends.
I could see it in the live stream. Well, it says there's 5 concurrent viewers, but there's none on the graph yet. So I don't know.
Well, I assume at least 3 of them are us.
Yes.
It's quite possible. Oh, there's a Pat's head in Discord on the stream. All right. What do you think, Tubby? Are you? Oh, I got to stop looking at the one with YouTube in it over here because.
That one's behind latency.
And it makes me want to look at what's going on there. All right, the order of the tabs I have up here, Brian, are the workbench, the folding workbench.
Okay. The folding table.
The funny drawers. I think I should put those after the vise.
Yeah. The vise is neat.
This is from Hand Tool Rescue is the name of the channel. I'm going to try to remember that.
Hand Tool Rescue on YouTube.
You think Chris ever told us his name? Chris Borge? Borge? That's Borge?
The 3D printed one?
Yeah. B-O-R-G-E.
B.
We might get that
Chris
wrong.
B.
Chris B. I've got the Thingiverse file. No makes. Is that true? No make. Oh, we're going to have to print one of these vices because there's no makes of it. All right.
It looked like a lot of parts. I mean,
It does.
Just
11
from the
thing files. So I'm going to guess there's 10 or 11. All right, I think I'm ready to go if you're ready to go, Tubby.
I'm ready to go, but is Chris ready to go?
Is Chris ready? Chris, are you ready to go?
Hey.
Are you going to be able to do this before we finish broadcasting for the night? Because that's the goal.
At least once.
Okay.
Oh, I'm expecting her to do this 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, 4 or 5 times is my... What's the over-under? Maybe we should...
I don't know. See, I don't know if I should give you my pad. But,
all right, but what we're going to be doing here... Well, I'll introduce the episode, and then I'll mention what's going on because this will be in the corner, for sure.
Perpetually. In every episode? Or...
Yep. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But what we're doing is join the live stream. We're going to record 3 episodes of the show live in front of you guys, and in a few seconds here, we're gonna hunker down and pretend we know what we're doing. And I'm gonna do the intro to the show. Are you ready, Tubby?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Butterwhat Show. I'm one of your hosts here. I'm Pat Regan, and this is my co-host, BrianCMoses.com from BrianCMoses.com. How are you doing, Brian?
I'm doing pretty good, Pat. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm doing all right. we are. We've got some woodworking and 3D printing and other projects we're going to talk about here real quick that are pretty cool. And in the corner of the screen somewhere, I haven't figured it out here, but my wife Chris is going to be solving a 4x4x4 speed cube. She told me I can't call it a Rubik's Cube. But I don't know what she's waiting for. She should get started down there.
We're going to time it. We're going to see how many times she can successfully solve it during
our
today's live stream.
But you're not watching a live stream probably. You're watching the episode. So we're gonna get rolling. Brian, I saw this week, I think. This has been floating all around the internet, is this Fractal Vice restoration.
Yeah, it popped up on my feed too.
Hand Tool Rescue YouTube channel. This is a fantastic YouTube channel. But this vise, it has all sorts of little round grabby bits that get small. This works a lot like your windshield wiper on your car. And the more you tighten the vise, the more these, you can see it, they twist and turn until they can grab on your oddly shaped part that you want to put in your mill or your... God, I can't imagine putting it in a lathe.
Yeah, that'd be maybe potentially terrifying if it was spinning.
Fractal Rescue. It's starring him.
I want to understand how it works. You know, it doesn't get, what are those calipers that he's got gripped in there?
It was
so as it, I mean,
he's probably explaining this to us, and we'll have a link to this, to Hand Tool Rescue's video in the description. But every one of those pieces can freely rotate, and we can probably see it better. This is awesome. You should watch this. If you needed a real vise like this, and you find a treasure like this, it would be awesome. But somebody else, I saw this like 2 days ago, maybe yesterday. Gentleman named Borge, I'm probably saying that wrong, on YouTube with 4,000 subscribers here. He has created a 3D printable version of that same sort of style vise, and that's up on Thingiverse. And I kind of want to make one now. I don't know what I need it for, but I want one.
I kind of want to see you print it. Yeah, he says in the video it's not identical, but it's very similar to it.
Yep, he followed the... Oh, he's showing...
Yeah, he said that he followed the patent.
Yeah, he took dimensions from the patent. Here's the patent. He's taking measurements of the circles. Not to... I remember from small jaws, 10 millimeters in diameter. I think. Probably each of those little round grabbers is 10 millimeters. Okay. And everything is scaled up from there. Each one, I think... Each pair is 48% of the width of the next bigger one, so there's a little 2% margin on each one. But I hold weird things down on my CNC all the time. Nothing this small, but odd enough stuff that I find this fascinating.
Yeah.
We could put a, maybe not on my CNC, but we could secure down a crescent wrench or pair of pliers or something if you wanted to engrave your face on the side.
Ooh, I like engraving my face into things.
But Chris has done a fantastic job. All the files are up on Thingiverse. And there are no makes yet. So I'm going to try to be the first here, maybe. Maybe I'll print this week. But it looks like there's 11 different parts. 11 different parts, but you need several of each, right?
Multiples of each. Yeah, I would like, expect that.
Yep, 8 of the smallest, 4 of the medium, 2 of the big. It's a fractal.
God, it's been a long time.
Let's check in on Chris. How's she doing? She's our timer. We're up at almost 4 minutes here.
4 minutes.
What she's doing is she's solving the centers first. Don't tell her I told you that. That might be the secret.
All of Rubik's cubes are secrets to me.
Yeah, I don't understand at all. And we're supposed to tell you she's not the fastest cube solver in the world. She's new at this. Last 2 weeks ago we did a live stream and we picked on Chris and I said she can't do a 4x4 Rubik's Cube. And she said she was going to order one on Amazon, have it here in 2 days, learn how to do it, and be ready to do this live today. So it's exciting.
And what, a week ago, last Saturday, right? She solved it while we watched TV over at our house.
Yeah,
When we
I
did.
think that was
Yeah,
one of the
she's-
first 3 or 4 times she solved it, I think.
Yep. She was working hard. She got frustrated a couple times, but she did a good job.
But this next one, Tubby, is DK's Crafts. He's got quite a few subscribers here, nearly 500,000. And this is a folding table that he's made. This is just a fantastic video to watch. You all should go
Yes.
watch it. He just does a great job making the thing. It's a good little
I hope we get to see my favorite part from the video.
What's your favorite part from the video?
His tiny little saw that he uses to cut the dowels. It's like this big. It looks almost like a tooth. I mean, I don't want to say about the length of a toothbrush. He goes,
Well, I'm excited.
and
to
it
see
cuts
what
it
you
flat.
do.
It's awesome. I've never seen a. I wanted to ask if that was a saw or a file, but it's. I mean, it's a little tiny hand saw. I don't know the. I'm sorry to the woodworkers for using all the wrong words.
Now, our format's not good for watching a cool build video like this because he starts at the beginning and we're excited about the end,
The end. Yeah.
right? So let's skip in.
Yeah, I can't
He's
remember.
got these legs that fold out. This is really cool. So it's... Oh, this isn't the end either.
This is close to
not-
the end. I mean, you're.
But why would you do this? You can't... Oh, here it is. This is why you would do this. He's got 2 more pieces that fit on... So it's It's either a long table or a narrow
Or
table.
a narrow table, yeah.
With nice little handles on the side here. He has a good demo at the end here. Here it comes. You see this? We could be out camping somewhere in our garage here. Oh, we need more room. We just drag it out and it opens right up.
Flying
Pull it up by the
quadcopters.
hands.
I don't know if you would take it.
He was brave enough to sit on it, so it
That-
must be sturdy.
That's impressive.
That's how you know if it's sturdy. I bet it's sturdier when it's compressed.
Doesn't seem to buckle much when he sits on it.
It does.
From what I could see in the small little window.
Oh, and he's got a little espresso machine out there at the campsite in the... I don't know if that's... I don't know where he is. It's just there's finished drywall-looking walls with
Yep,
AstroTurf in front.
AstroTurf. Yeah, it's his.
But
photo.
I'm going to say he's out camping at home.
That's what I think. That's as much camping as I want to do.
And we've accidentally got the same gentleman, DK's Crafts, again. And I'm going to... Before we start talking about this, I'm going to skip to the finished product again because I think it's cool.
It is a cool product.
So what he's got here is on the wall, these are French cleats, these are called, Brian. Do you know about these?
I didn't know that's what their name is, but
They have a little 45-degree cut on the top, and then
Yep.
your other part has his drawers in this case have the other matching.
yeah,
And if you space them all the same in your shop, you can move things around. It's fantastic.
yeah.
So he must have French cleats on the back of these drawers. This is cool. These are drawers you would put up very high. Oh, yeah, we can't see it. See that?
Yep, it just flips
Oh, I
down.
think that's fantastic.
It really is.
And it still gets a shelf up behind it.
Yep, I like the shelf. There's a shelf up behind it. He does a good demo of, a bunch of his tools and miscellaneous.
Paper towels. These would be good for my wife, Chris, because she can't get up high to see things. But the
She's for-
mechanism he's got set, this I would totally do this on my CNC machine, but he does it all with hand tools. And the whole build video is fantastic. You should definitely go watch it. There will be a link in the description, as always. It probably even says the name up here by the time I'm done editing.
Yeah, like right here.
Right
Maybe
here.
you could make it show up. Like I go like this and it shows up in between my hands.
Ooh, am I that fancy?
Of course you are.
We're
You've
gonna
got
find out. Find out
you've
next
got
time.
video editing wizardry.
She's a long way done. She has all the centers and she's doing some of the edges. I don't know what you call the edges.
I look down. It's been a long time since I messed with the Rubik's Cube, but when I was a kid, I was always excited when I had all the same color on any face of the cube, and I saw that out of the corner of my eye just a few seconds ago.
And I didn't even know you had to get all the to really have the side correct. You have to have the right colors on the opposite edges too. I didn't know that. But what's interesting about this 4x4 is once you get the middle sides done, it's almost works like a 3x3 cube. As long as you don't accidentally turn it in the wrong place.
So it's still magic, is what you're saying.
It's still magic. It's absolutely still magic. But she's finishing that up, so let's start the next episode. Let's get our videos or whatever we have together for episode 2.
Is this going to be the home automation stuff?
I think this is going to be the home automation stuff. I believe you are correct.
Thanks. Yeah, my hair is getting way out of control.
Oh my gosh!
And we got YouTube chat.
Oh, we have Jeremy S. Cook's thingamajig here. Oh, I guess we can bring over my home automation.
Should we do Jeremy's first?
This is a good question. I'm just going to try to bring all the right tabs over here to our public window here.
Look at that fancy dashboard you have.
Oh, it's not. That's the dashboard where I've just been dropping everything. Oh, it's terrifying. It's starting to get too big.
That's I haven't done anything. Maybe this will be in the episode or maybe not. My Home Assistant dashboard is just the one dashboard that everything gets auto-populated to. It's a...
Oh, how do you get things to auto-populate?
By default, it does it for you, and if you edit it at all, it stops doing it automatically and puts it all in your... And I can't remember... I accidentally...
This is all that's on my default one.
Well, yours looks way better than mine because mine's an absolute... It's like... what'd you call it when you went to the soda fountains and you put a little bit of each soda into the drink? What'd you call that? We called it a suicide. I don't know why we called it a suicide. But that's what my Home Assistant dashboard basically is. It's a little bit... It's just everything. All the flavors all at once.
Well, I can at least pause Jeremy so he's not talking the whole time. See? I think you're right. If we do Jeremy up front, the cloud-free stuff can segue very well into...
Yeah, we're almost kind of escalating into a... How much Pat and Brian... Well, how much Pat and Brian's in each of the topics. You know, none in Jeremy, a little bit in the cloud-free stuff, and then...
I have my cloud-free switches ready to hold up to show myself.
Can you see mine back there? I don't think you can.
Should I pretend we're opening one right out of the box? I've got the box here.
Oh wow, that'd be impressive. The V2 box?
The V2 box. I don't know where my V1 box went to. But that's irrelevant now. You can't buy a V1 anymore.
I've got a V1. I'll sell them. They're collector's editions now.
Where are we
I don't
starting
think-
with Jeremy's video here? Should I testing?
I can't remember. Does Jeremy talk about what he did or how he did it, or did
Oh
he
yeah,
just...
he talks.
Okay.
It's not hooked into Home Assistant or anything.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
all
It's
the
just-
logic is on the Arduino.
Okay, that's what I thought. I remember, I'm recalling when I watched it, going, I wonder if he did that in a Home Assistant or not. And then I was both impressed and disappointed that it wasn't. Impressed that it was. Well, maybe I should
Well,
save
don't-
this for when we're talking
You
about
should
it.
save this for after I introduce the episode. Wait, look at Chris. Is that? Oh, it's almost, not quite. All right, let's get started so she can be excited in the middle of an episode. Are you ready?
Don't forget to talk about the Rubik's Cube.
All right. Am I ready here? Hello, you to the Butter What Show. This is my co-host Brian Moses from briancmoses.com, and I'm Pat Regan, and I'm here again, once again. We are this segment. We have some home automation stuff to talk about. We have my lovely co-host from the Creativity Podcast has a little cool shop lighting project he's been working on, and Brian and I have been doing some home assistant nonsense that fits in with all this. What do you want to talk about first, Brian?
Let's talk about Jeremy's workbench lighting because it's impressive.
Hang on,
Can
we
I
got to.
interrupt?
Uh-oh.
Yes.
I finished.
How long did it take?
15 minutes and 35 seconds, point 63.
Wow, that's awesome. Nice work.
That's fantastic. Yulia says you did a good job.
Thank you, Yulia.
So I didn't even get to tell everybody. Chris started solving this Rubik's Cube during our last episode, and she finished it right as we were recording the introduction here. So she's done a good job. Congratulations, Chris.
Nice job, Chris. Now do it
She's
again.
not saying anything now.
Thanks. I'm going to
She's
start all
gloating.
over again.
She was doing her touchdown dance.
I sure was.
Now,
It's like
good
you can
luck,
see
Chris.
in the room.
Good luck. We're gonna do the next one here. Then you do the next. Look, she's going. She's messing it up. Ah, it's broken now. So, Brian, why don't you tell us about Jeremy's fantastic little Arduino LED, completely from scratch little project here? What you? I put him on the spot. He doesn't know anything about it. I'm doing this.
No,
he was
no.
supposed to make me say this.
If I recall, it's been a while since I watched Jeremy's video. If I recall, he's got some motion sensors and an Arduino and some LED lighting, and based off of his location, it lights up the area of the bench that he's working at.
Dude, that's exactly what he's done here. Jeremy's explaining this to us now, but we can't hear him because I don't have the. We don't have that kind of technology here at ButterWhat.com.
But we'll definitely put Jeremy's video link in the description down below.
Absolutely, for sure we will. And when we publish this, I'll edit it down to the part where it's actually doing something. But oh yeah, there it goes. The light just turned on. As he walks past more of the bench, more of the lights will turn on. He's being sneaky here. He's sneaking up on it. And it's on some sort of timer. When after a while they give up and they turn off. And
Yep.
this is all self-contained. The Arduino does all of the work. There's no, home automation hub or anything. And he's got some manual control buttons plugged right into the Arduino there for brightness controls and things. It's pretty neat
It is really neat.
with the little infrared sensors and stuff.
I like things like this because I always leave the light on in the garage. It doesn't matter if I turn the light on in the garage. I forget to turn it off when I go back inside.
Yep, I'm bad at light bulbs.
It would be nice to have something like this to know that my workbench lighting turned off when I wanted it or when I wasn't using it.
And someday maybe your lighting will turn on and off just like Jeremy's.
It's inevitable, I think.
I have confidence. But we'll leave a link to the lovely Jeremy Cook's video in the description here. You should definitely check him out. You should check out his podcast, the Creativity Podcast, because I'm on there also. So I obviously should check
Despite
it out.
the fact that you're on there.
Despite the fact. This is the wrong cloud-free switch, Brian.
You can't buy that one anymore. That's a collector's
you can't buy
edition.
That one anymore. Good gravy. I just got my first shipment of cloud-free version 2 smart plugs. Why are the cloud-free plugs so exciting to me, Brian McMoses?
That's because they're cloud free. They're completely independent of any kind of internet connectivity to somebody else's software. Everything that you need to run the cloud free switch is already on the hardware that's inside that device.
It says it runs something called Tasmoda.
Yeah.
Yep, that seems to work very well with Home Assistant.
It works well with everything, right?
Yep.
You've been using Tasmoda on other devices for a while.
No, I've done other weird things. Tasmoda's, I don't want to say it's new because it's not new anymore, but I haven't used Tasmoda until I started using Home Assistant.
Interesting. Well, then I don't remember right. I thought you were doing Tasmoda on something else.
Well,
I'm clearly wrong
here because I can't reach these, Brian. So we'll edit this out of the episode. I used to use the.
Yep.
Yeah. 5 years ago, little Wi-Fi switches like this were like $40 each.
Yes.
And they weren't very good. I got a 3-pack of these goofy remote-controlled switches for like $18 or something. It was a fraction of the price. And I built a little ESP32, or no, it was an ESP8266 with a little 433 megahertz transmitter to control these, and that worked great. But these are big and bulky and old, and they can't tell you whether they're on or off. You spam commands
spam and pray that one works. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know if it works. But then you got me a handful of these cloud-free switches. And on the Creativity Podcast, we had Kenny from Cloud-Free on, and he's a good dude. He's done a good job. He has these flashed with Tasmoda from the factory. And these were good. These were 10 amps. And both of these switches were easy to use. I used my phone to connect to their little Wi-Fi hotspot, pointed them at my real Wi-Fi, entered in my host name for Home Assistant, and then they just show up.
Yep.
So easy. But the new switches, do you know what's different, or should I tell everybody?
I know a little bit, but you're probably more versed on their new.
Well, one of the nice things is the new form factor. You can actually fit 2 of these in the wall now next to each other. These ones you couldn't, even though these are a little bigger. The old ones were 10 amp. The new ones are 15 amp. And the new ones have power metering built in, kind of like a kilowatt meter. So you can... And I've been messing with this. I'm excited about this.
I've enjoyed that. I have the Sonoff. I can't remember when they added power metering, but I have a whole handful of the Sonoff ones that have power metering.
But I've plugged in my... You can see in this other window here, that's my... Miss Sylvia is my Rancilio Sylvia espresso machine. And you can see her, she's popping up to 800 watts and then back down to nothing over and over again as she's heating up and cooling down. And I plugged in for fun my electric unicycle just to see how long it takes to charge and how much... It'll tell you how many kilowatt hours you use in a day with a particular device.
Yep.
And I think this is really cool. Some automation off of the power metering on the Sylvia, because I can tell... See how some of these lines are really close together? That means I'm making coffee.
Okay.
So I can know... I almost always make 2 lattes in a day, and then I won't make another one until... I can count how many lattes I've made and wait a half hour and then just shut it off. automatically. I think that
You could have it send me a text message, and I could drive over, and you'd be all warmed up and ready to make me an espresso.
Yeah, and with my old automation with these old switches, which were flaky on the espresso machine, probably because of the wattage. I used to have it when it detected my phone coming home, it would warm up the espresso machine during
Okay.
certain times of the day because I might want a latte when I get home. I'm I'm pretty excited about these. What about you, Tubby?
I'm excited about them too. I've been I've been tempted. I've been buying Z-Wave smart outlets and trying to, I guess, declutter my Wi-Fi at home. But I keep seeing cool new Wi-Fi smart gadgets that I keep buying. I'll probably buy some of these clap-free V2s.
I would enjoy moving everything over to Z-Wave, but I don't have any of the infrastructure. So I don't have a Z-Wave USB dongle, and I don't have any devices yet.
Yep.
But
Yeah, I've got a whole mess of them.
yep, you're doing a good job then, because it is good to get all that stuff off your Wi-Fi, and you don't have to worry about the being fragile, being broken into. At least not as much, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and that brings us to Brian. I don't know what we call this. We're both plumbing information from our desktop PCs, and I've got my laptop hooked up as well into Home Assistant.
And a Home Assistant. Yeah, I've been wanting to do this since I installed Home Assistant for a really strange reason.
Okay.
I know I've griped at you about this. My my weird used 10 gigabit network card on my Windows computer. I don't know if the driver support is weird, but ever since I started using it, the screensaver doesn't turn on. Nothing. My computer's always just on, chugging along, which it should be, right? I mean, if you had a 10 gigabit interface in hardware, you didn't want it, hibernating when it wasn't in use. But it's a different problem for me in my silly computer. So I've wanted to find a way to use Home Assistant, or I guess any kind of automation, to detect when my computer is idle, and then just issue the command to lock the workstation or put it to sleep, or to hibernate, while the computer's not being used. And I found, I mean, you inspired me. You found something similar, but I found this workstation service that does it in Windows and plumbs a bunch of sensors into Home Assistant, and then also allows you to, create switches inside Home Assistant to execute commands on your machine.
Very
Like to
cool.
shut it down or to lock a workstation, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, look at this. It sends your CPU load and your clock speed, memory usage, whether you're on the microphone or not.
Yep. Yeah, I want to for the web for these live streams. I want to create an automation, some sort of sensor or a light maybe outside of the office to say, "Hey,
On
we're
air.
on air." Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah. I haven't tied. I'm doing this for some of the same reasons you are, sort of. But I want to know. I used to have a logic built up to decide whether I was sleeping or not, or just away from the house. And one of the variables in all that math to figure out if I was asleep was, is my computer active? Pretty much, is my computer active? Is the Fire TV active? Is my phone at home? Then maybe Pat's asleep. And there's some new stuff to have in here to figure that out. But I've been lacking ever since I moved to the new house here. I have automation that I have two screens, and when I play a game on Steam, it'll dim the brightness on the left monitor that I'm not using. But I'd like it to turn the light out also. And now I'm halfway to being able to do that. I just need to pipe in the Steam information.
That's awesome. Yeah, I want to do, now that I'm working remotely full time, I want to do the same thing, but to detect, when I'm in meetings, to turn particular lights off in my office so that I don't look, I guess, as terrible, in my Zoom calls or whatever.
Yep, you sit at a different desk when you're
Yes,
at work.
over there. I'm touching it.
Yep.
But yeah, at least one of the lights in my office is right behind my head, so it looks really bad when that light's on.
But this has gotten me to start finally messing around. I don't have any automation yet in Home Assistant. I'm just capturing data mostly. And I've got a remote control. Like I could turn my podcasting lighting set up on and off with a button.
Yep.
But that's just a remote control. That's not automation.
Yeah,
But I've got my desktop idle settings here, and I started messing with that. It knows when my desktop's idle, and I built in Node-RED another sensor and it doesn't seem to be working right. I don't know. That can't be right.
I know this feeling.
Yep. But I haven't even looked at that. I just put some stuff together in Node-RED just to see that it was working and populating a switch. But it knows when I've been idle for 5 more minutes than it thinks I've been idle for. It's totally useless. But I want to build some more sensors based on, like I want a sensor that says when's the time I pulled a shot of espresso. And that's a thing that I can figure out from another sensor. So you take one sensor, do a little bit of logic, and then spit out another sensor.
Yep.
I have a few places where I'd like to do that.
I can't wait to read your blogs about it.
Me too. I can't wait to write them. I have to do something with them first.
Yeah, I'm the same. I've got a lot of data getting plumbed into Home Assistant, but not a whole lot of automation. Like I turn on and off my lights in my office at set times of the day, or when I leave the house. The Home Assistant mobile app tells Home Assistant when I'm out of the house, using GPS data.
Yep. I don't get to do any of the automation based on times because I don't have a schedule. You never know when I'm going to show up.
Yep.
And that's kind of why I need to plumb in some sort of, like you can see in my window here, there's a Pat's phone sleep confidence. This graph is when Android thinks I'm awake or asleep. And that's not enough information to prove definitively whether I'm.
Have you tried charting that? Just for every hour of the day, is Pat asleep? Put what, yes or no, and then overlay the two graphs to see how good
No,
Android.
I have, but you can tell there's too many of these dips where I should be. Now, Android is this is part of Android Fit, I think, and it.
Okay.
It's probably for. How well I'm sleeping, right?
Yeah.
And these little dips here where it thinks I might be awake are probably, when I woke up to get a drink or use the bathroom or something. I mean, who knows why, right?
Sleepwalking.
The cat woke me up. He was hungry. We don't know. But I don't want to. That doesn't count. I'm not awake. That's for home automation purposes. That's not awake. But I figure I could take this. If it's thought I've been asleep, greater than 75% for so long, and then if I haven't used any devices in the house in 8 hours, I'm probably asleep.
Yeah.
And I figure it's okay. You don't have to be right. You just have to err in the correct direction. Like, I don't ever want my espresso machine to warm up 2 hours after I wake up. I'd rather it warm up 2 hours before I wake up, so it's ready when I get there.
Yeah, and
the
I guess
errors have to be in the right direction.
Yeah, it almost depends, and it'll have to depend on the kind of automation, right? Because if you're watching a movie, you want it to assume that you're awake. If you want it to err on the side of, hey, I'm awake, not I'm asleep, so go ahead and turn off the TV or do whatever home automation you might have where you're watching the movie.
Yep, the brains for all your scenes have to know when they make sense.
Yep.
But we'll get there. We'll get there. And this is the part, Brian, where you want to talk about your contest.
Yeah, so
And we don't know how this is going to work out yet.
we don't this is not a well-formed idea. This is a brainstorm that I had, well, not too long ago, maybe a few hours. As we're trying to think of the kinds of content that we can put into these shows, and considering how, I don't want to say, let's say immature our own home automation is right now in its current state. I thought it would be neat if we had some sort of recurring, I'm gonna call it a contest, to say, hey, here's a problem that I want to solve with home automation, and then each of us goes off and we work on a solution, and then as part of a live stream or whatever, did we just solve it again?
We
Oh,
did.
come
Looks
on,
like-
tell us, Chris.
We did. We solved it.
Nice job.
Again, were you faster or slower?
Slower this time, unfortunately.
Well, it's hard.
That's
But
doing
in
it
the
on a
same
desk like
episode.
this.
within the same episode. The fact that you solved it so quickly twice is impressive. I would have. Well, we'll see. We're gonna keep counting how
tell
many
us
times you
about-
do it.
You're solving this the easier method, not the fastest method.
It's not the
Right.
fast method. It's more of a beginner's method. I watched some YouTube videos and wrote down all I need to use. So if I see something, I know which algorithm I have to use, so I use that algorithm. There's definitely faster ways, and I'm sure this is done in probably a third of the time faster.
Well,
Yeah,
I
some of
remember
those-
when you were learning the 3x3, how much faster you got week
Yes,
after week.
I did get quicker, and I was still doing the 3x3 with the method. I never did algorithms by the 3x3, so probably going back to the 3x3, I could cut the 4 minute that I had down to much lower.
Well, good.
That's impressive. Nice work.
You're doing
Thank
a
you.
good job, Chris.
You're doing a
you.
very good job.
If you think Chris is doing a good job learning how to solve Rubik's Cubes, let her know down in the comments.
Let her know in the comments, and hit like and subscribe and smash the
All that
notification
stuff.
bell.
Good job, Tubby.
All right.
Thank you. So where did I leave off? What was I talking about?
You have a contest you want to tell us about.
Yeah, so I was thinking it would be neat if we solicited ideas either from the crowd or from each other, and on a monthly basis come up with a new contest of a home automation task, whether it's count the number of espressos that you've been drinking, or lock my workstation when I leave the house, or lock my workstation when I go to bed. What each month come up with a challenge, and then on our own, or maybe depending on the complexity, collaboratively solve that challenge and then present it, in the next live stream, and maybe have people vote on who won. I don't know. But I think it'd be interesting to talk about, the methods that we used inside a Home Assistant, the hardware, if any, that we needed to buy to do it, and any kind of helpful guides or information that we came across on the
Do
internet.
you think she knows she didn't start her timer?
I don't know. If she presses start on her phone,
I
we'll
did
know.
not. Thank you. Thank you so
This one
much.
this one will be faster.
It started. I will wait a little bit so
Oh,
that I.
don't do
No,
that.
no, just
Nope.
go. Go.
Just go. Go fast.
I think it's a good idea, Tubby.
I like the idea. I'm a little worried about, selfishly, about how much work it's going to wind up being for the both of us. Or, that I guess osmosis, we're around each other enough that I'm also a little worried that, we'll name a problem and then we'll each solve it the same way, and then everybody will have to pick the favorite symbol.
Well, how about for next month on espresso shots?
Okay.
Do we have to solve the same problem?
This Well,
'Cause you
either way
can't count
works.
espresso
Yeah,
shots.
I can't count espresso shots. Not without, you know, hijacking your Tasmodo, your cloud-free device remotely
That's true. But
using
I'll count
Tailscale.
espresso shots, and then you could, and maybe come up with other things that you could use that same automation to count, to keep
Okay.
track of. There have to be other things.
I'd like home on. Well, and I don't think I always do a power consumption, and I use my Sonoff switches that do power tracking. It'd be interesting, but that's not a challenge. That's just grabbing data and throwing it in a spreadsheet over time. I I don't have a good on-demand home automation challenge right now, but I'd like
Tell
us.
you- Why don't we come up with one? We could record a little video announcing this,
Okay,
next week or something,
yeah.
and we'll figure it
Here
out.
are our challenges, and here's how we do it. But yeah, I'd like to get to the point where it's a it's a win or lose, kind of Top Gear style. The two hosts go off and try and accomplish a task, and
Can I put funny
I'm-
names on the doors of my
I'm
car?
no, I'm definitely Jeremy Clarkson. You're Richard Hammond. You run into things. You're gonna have to crash or harm yourself.
Oh, man. This is fine.
But yeah, I hope we get to the point where we're savvy enough hosts that we're presenting our solutions in an entertaining manner, and if we're solving the same challenge, our audience can decide, who had the better solution or who had better Google abilities.
I'm ready to do this. And I realized I want to mention something about the cloud-free switches to sneak in earlier in the episode. Can I do that now, Tubby?
Let's do it.
These the new cloud-free switches, Tasmoda's power detection stuff by default only sends a power update every 60 seconds.
Oh, that's not
When I
very.
plugged my espresso machine in, it just never registered. Nothing. It was just cricket.
Yeah.
It was 0 because it didn't stay on for 60 seconds at a time.
Oh wow.
Each of those, where is it? Each of these blips is less than a minute, so they hardly ever shut. Now this kilowatt meter, the kilowatt hour meter is in Tasmoda. It's keeping track the whole time and saying, yeah, I've used so many kilowatt hours so far, and it keeps going up. So that I watched that go up, but I couldn't see. Yeah, I couldn't see instant power. There's a command that I don't remember. I'll paste it up maybe here to bring that interval down to the minimum is 10 seconds, I believe, and I set it
Okay.
to 10 seconds. I did that on all my switches.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
Oh geez, did you see what Lieutenant Data called you?
No. I could. Supremely boring, Lieutenant Data. I'm very good at that.
Maybe Pat's got a home economist
Jeez.
in his closet over there.
I really enjoy James May's cooking show.
It's
I
good.
think
We
it's
watched a
delightful.
couple episodes.
It's delightful. It's very different than Clarkson's Farm.
Clarkson's Farm was really good
It's
also.
a different vibe. Yeah, James May is trying to teach me how to do something that I could do at home in my own kitchen. And there's instructions to it.
Yep.
Jeremy's actually, I believe he's farming. But
Yep.
he's not teaching me how to farm. I'm not learning any best practices I'm learning some what not to do.
Yeah, you're learning some lessons about farming, but mostly what I learned from Clarkson's Farm is that I'm glad I'm not a farmer, and I appreciate the people that are, because it does not look like.
Shout out to all the farmers out there.
Yeah.
You're doing a fantastic job.
It's hard work, and you are at the mercy of everything.
Can I be one of the American Top Gear hosts? I don't even know who they are.
Joey Tribbiani. What are you talking about?
I don't think he's still on there. They replaced him with somebody else, didn't they?
Did they? Somebody else
I don't know.
American?
No, Joey Tribute, isn't he on the British Top Gear now?
I don't
Matt
know.
LeBlanc?
I thought he was on the British one.
Well, the American one has 3 guys.
The only American one I ever watched was just the re-edited versions of Clarkson and
Yeah. Oh no, there's an American Top
Yeah.
Gear. Top Gear America.
that sounds awful. Sorry, Top
It's-
Gear America.
I'm hoping it's better now with the guys they have on there now than it was, but I'm not confident. I'm opening up, Tubby, the gaming.
The gaming stuff?
Gaming. Is this all retro? It's all retro, so we'll... Uh-oh, retro achievements loads very slowly. I think we should lead this off with the Super Mario widescreen,
I think so too.
because that's badass.
It is.
Well, there's the Twitter with the video of somebody playing, because that's important to see that it works. Make it big. Oh, jeez.
Now I've got the Mario theme song stuck in my head.
Too big.
Oh, while we're waiting, I beat the Darker Side of the Moon, and
Shut the front door.
yeah, after seeing you guys on Saturday, I kept playing it. I think I did it on Sunday or Monday at some point.
Well, these go at the end. These are the retro achievements. Oh, I should get Super Mario World up here for the retro achievement, since we've got Super Mario World.
I like your logic.
Oh, jeez, how do you feel? This is all games. Oh, good gravy.
Super Mario Brothers is what, your other link there?
Super Nintendo.
We're well organized.
S is for super. Super! Rio! Where'd he go? These load pretty slow. Sneak him in there. Did I get the mini Mario cabinet? Yeah, bar top. This is pretty nice. I like this arcade cabinet. I want to check these numbers here, so I don't say this wrong. I know it's 96 pixels wider. There it is. 256 by 224.
It's like HD.
You ready, Tubby?
I think I'm ready.
It's like HD because it's wide. It says they have an ultra wide also, 21:9 and 2:1. Oh no, they're planned. They're not. They're works in progress.
Okay.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Butter What Show. I'm Pat Regan. This is my co-host, BrianCMoses.com. And today we've got some couple of 2-3 retro gaming things to talk about. I keep looking around the camera. I gotta stop doing that.
I do that a lot too.
What do you think of this widescreen Super Nintendo hack?
I think it's awesome. You were telling me about it the other day, and it sounded really exciting, especially if you're the kind of person that doesn't like black bars on your classic games.
Oh, those stupid black bars. I'm impressed. When I first saw the link on Hacker News, I thought this was just going to be somebody made a new engine to play the Super Mario games, like a PC game or something. But no, they've taken the BSNES emulator, added a new video mode that's 96 pixels wider to the to the fake emulated virtual machine. And then they've modified Super Mario. They've modified quite a few games, but specifically they've done a very good job modifying Super Mario World to add 96 more pixels. So now instead of 256 pixels by 224 whopping pixels, now it's 352 pixels wide. And it's just amazing because there's so many levels that, the game didn't originally render things that aren't necessarily on the screen, right? So it could goof everything up. And supposedly they've done a very good job with the entire game. And here's some footage of it running here over on Twitter.
That's neat.
But I guess they get to cheat because Super Mario World had, you hit the left and the right triggers to scroll the screen back and forth a little bit, and I think they get to use some of that data that was available.
Okay.
But I think it's a tremendous hack. It's amazing. And there's more than a handful of it. This list is not this long. Oh, that's not the list. Sure. Oh no, there is no list here. All right, I'm gonna click on another link here, Tubby, to see if they have a list of games that work.
Yeah, in the chat, Lieutenant Data's saying they're working on it for Super Metroid also.
Oh, fantastic.
That'd be awesome.
I thought there was a list of a handful of games that were at least partially working, but I guess I goofed up and I did not save that list. But this is super exciting. I haven't even tried this yet. I'm a little bummed out that I haven't done that yet. I thought I would have done that before we got a chance to live stream this. But I'm still super excited. Maybe it's time to play Super Mario World again. This kind of bums me out because I've been trying to replay as much stuff as I can on the Switch. Because games like this are perfect handheld on the Switch.
Yeah.
But you can't do this on the Switch unless you jailbreak it or whatever people do with Switches. And we can't do that because Chris doesn't just play Rubik's Cubes. She plays Animal Crossing with her friends. And you can't play the online games with a hacked Switch.
Guess it's time to get one of the new OLED screen switches. So there's two switches in the house.
And then we can hack the old one. But then I want to play on the new one. Oh, it's just there's no
you gotta
right
buy
way.
3 switches. 3 new switches.
Now, Brian, you know that I'm a fan of arcade cabinets.
What? Wait. Why are you a fan of arcade cabinets?
Well, I'm an old man, Tubby, and I used to play video games in the arcade. What are you talking about? And the classic Nintendo cabinet from Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, or well, no, I don't know if Super Mario Brothers should have been in this cabinet too. Donkey Kong, we're in a cabinet of this general shape here. This is a bar top recreation of a classic Nintendo cabinet.
Yep,
And
that's
it's
very familiar.
This one's just gorgeous. He's done a good job. I'm supposed to tell you who this is. And I'm going to tell you what, it doesn't say.
How do you discern that from Imager?
How do you find out who it is on Imager?
I've been scrolling through all the pictures.
Well, I am too stupid to figure out whose this is because it doesn't have a name. I thought they had a little name next to the... Well, if I find out who this is, I'm going to paste it. I'll put it up on the screen. And there will definitely be a link in the description. But he's done a good job of showing you all his parts that he's built here. He's got these little routed out grooves everywhere, channels to put the pieces into. Here's the wiring for his, well, it's not the wiring, but here's his buttons and his joysticks. Must be a coat of primer. He's got all the right decals. I wonder if that's the exact copy of the marquee from
Yeah, where do you
the
even...
real Mario Brothers game. But boy, it looks familiar enough, and the Mario and Luigi look funny enough that this is old enough graphics to be Mario Brothers. It's fantastic.
It really
Everything's
is.
scaled correctly. It just looks gorgeous. Now, a lot of people complain when you don't put a CRT into an arcade cabinet, but I'm not that kind of a purist.
You're not that guy?
They're smaller and lighter. Oh, he's got some of my favorite games in here. Is Gradius. It's got a little door in the back with a little latch to get at all your equipment inside.
What kind of hardware is that? Is that just
No, I can't tell you. Some kind of a go-between thing on the VGA here.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was.
I wonder if this is one of those 60-in-1 arcade boards.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. It's got speakers and a power strip.
Because I would never be able to identify a 60-in-1 board. And this little... I'm making this up. I don't... ...presentation here, but I wouldn't be surprised. We could look up this board, I'm sure. But this little board on the VGA chain, maybe this converts from the weirdo arcade CRT signal back to something the VGA monitor can pick up. But at any rate, this is really fantastic.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, he's got a Donkey Kong also. Holy crap.
Yeah, it does. Look at that. You didn't even tell me that.
No, I didn't. Well, it said load 3 more, so I did, and there they are. But we'll have to find out who that is. There must be a way.
Oh, and it looks like we have another cube solution.
Oh, shut the front door, Chris!
Yes.
Is
I
this
hope
one
the front
faster?
door is closed. It might be faster than the last one, but it's not faster than the first one, I don't believe. I haven't been
that's
writing the
okay.
numbers down. Maybe someone in the chat knows.
We can
Jen?
figure it out later. We can go back and look through the video.
Well, I'm bummed out to tell you you're not going to have time to do the last one because this is our last thing to talk about here.
That is quite all right. My shoulder's getting sore because I've been sitting funny to solve it. To see
Okay.
the camera.
If you had told me that the over-under was going to be one solution per segment of the Butter What show that we recorded, I would have bet against you. I would have bet the under, Chris. So you would have made me, like all of my other gambling experience, you would have made me lose money.
And a week ago, I would be right there with you because I solved it as fast as a little shy of 11 minutes, and then sometimes it took 45 minutes. I mean, the first time it took 12 hours. Not nonstop, but 12
was
hours
so
cumulative.
mad.
Yeah, it's...
And boy, she almost solved it one time, but she had 3 rows across from each other, all wonky. They were all correct, but not where they were supposed to be.
But I know what to do now on that. That twice more.
That means you're learning, Chris.
I am learning.
All of the mistakes I've made are why I'm so good at the things that I'm good at. Those few things that I'm good at.
So you can hang out for the next few minutes if you want to, Chris.
I will
And then
hang
we'll
out.
make sure
I'm
your video
interested
gets
in
uploaded
these
and
arcade
everything.
cabinets. I've been halfway listening.
Well, good. We're going to tell you about something cool here now, Chris.
Okay.
This isn't even new, but I can't believe I was unaware of this, Brian. There's this website here, retroachievements.org. And they have software that plugs into, and it's built into now the emulator RetroArch. And RetroArch is an emulator for dozens of old-timey retro consoles and arcade games and whatnot.
Okay.
And this is like Steam achievements. They have, when you accomplish something, it uploads it to the server and you could see your achievements in the game.
Get out of here.
Serious. This is, we didn't have this when I was a kid. When we played Super Nintendo,
You got a high score, and that was it.
that was all you could do. You could set
That's all
you used to take points of the screen, and you would mail that into the Nintendo Power magazine.
Oh, jeez.
And they would show you the blurry pictures of the guy that made 3 million points in Super Mario Brothers or something.
Convince me you're an old man. Well, I used to use a Polaroid to take pictures of my high scores.
Just so you guys know, I never did this. I just remember seeing the numbers in Nintendo
Well,
Power.
that you could, right? This is how you brag to all of your friends that you got the high score on something.
There's
You
a
used
famous
your
story of
Polaroid
Steve
camera.
Wozniak constantly sending in breakout high scores into whatever magazine you would send that into. And he started having to make aliases because they stopped publishing them. We're gonna have to look that up. We'll see if that's true. But since we just watched Super Nintendo Brothers,
Super Nintendo Brothers on the Mario Entertainment System.
Mario Entertainment World, Super Mario World widescreen. I wonder if these achievements work with the widescreen version. That's the bummer about this. The ROMs have to match up. I had to dig around to find a ROM of the game I wanted to play that worked.
Okay.
And you can only have these ROMs if you own the game already.
Yes.
Yes. But and these were my favorite games when I was a kid, so I absolutely have the cartridges somewhere. I did, at least, at one point.
They probably are burnt now.
Well, no, they got given away a long time ago,
Oh,
Chris.
okay.
But we're not supposed to tell the internet that, because I don't want the police to show up and tell me that I can't play video games.
Okay.
But Brian, you can see this list of achievements here. Like the first time you collect a feather and you can fly, you get an achievement. And collect the big dragon.
Yeah. When you were first telling me about this, I was thinking, well, what kinds of things can you achieve in those old games? Is it just going to be? I figured it would all be like time played and points scored, but you can do all sorts of things that you wouldn't have assumed. That even back then they had no method of extracting the data that they
track it.
Yeah.
Clear the game without dying in one session. 7.5% of participants have gotten that achievement. Clear the game in the fewest possible stages. I mean, there's interesting. I mean, a lot of people don't know it, but the achievements aren't really there for us. They're there for the developer. You know those simple achievements you get where it says make it to the 3rd chapter in Red Dead Redemption? That just shows the developers how many people actually play the game. Like, there's usually an achievement just for starting a new game.
Yeah.
So that shows you, sure, we know we sold 3 million copies, but only 500,000 people have even started a game.
Yeah.
You learn little things. But this is absolutely fantastic. I've got a few achievements in one of my old favorite games. And I can't wait to get more.
Very cool.
It is very cool.
Is that the episode, Tubby?
I think so.
Have we done a good job? Lieutenant Data says the Nintendo cops are coming for me.
Maybe they'll.
And Nintendo's mean about this stuff. Nintendo does not like you doing anything with their stuff.
Can I just say, this has been an unbelievable episode of the Butterwatch Show.
Thank you. Yes, you can.
Thank you.
Dublinsky. You did a good job, Chris.
You did a very good job.
Thank you.
So is there anything we should address in the chat here? Anything, you guys have any questions or answers or comments or anything before we sign today? I don't know what time it is.
Are we getting better at this? Are we more Polish or less Polish than?
We're doing way better. It's
It's
we only did 3
10:09.
episodes though, but it's only 10 after 10. We've an hour and 10 minutes. Our first one was 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And we got
Came
4.
in around. We got close to 90 minutes one time.
Okay.
Well, I'm even more impressed that I solved it 3 times, because that was less than an hour. Because I didn't even time it was until I just looked.
You did a very good job.
You did a real good job.
I'm excited. Just so everybody knows, I have I'm checking this here. Let's bring this over so everybody can watch. I have one. That one's public. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 episodes ready to go live. We make one go live every Monday morning. I try to do it.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're doing a good job. We're doing a good job. What one went live this week?
Shh.
Oh no, I have 6. I didn't do the other Galligator net. Tommy and his
Galligator. It's like that's the alligator that smashes watermelons, right? You take a picture of that with your Polaroid camera.
Galligator. Oh my god.
Alligator.
Did
I'm
I miss
excited
the one
coming
that
up.
went live this week?
This didn't go live yet. This is I don't know when we're doing this, but we've got
Oh, okay.
the alligator. I have a whole alligator Mike episode with Tommy here. I'm super excited about that one. That's fantastic. But did we keep you guys awake too late? Should we? Lieutenant Data says we can't buy mostly. Nintendo's doing an okay job of getting the games in emulator on the Switch, but people are mad about there's a new 2D Metroid game coming out, Brian.
Really?
Yeah, but they've not given you a way to emulate like half of the old Metroid games.
Huh.
I think you have the ones maybe on the Nintendo and Super Nintendo, but there were some good ones on the Game Boy Advance, and they're not available anywhere.
Seems like
I played whatever one is on the Game Boy Advance. That's a little Game Boy, Game Boy. I played through that Metroid game on a 100-inch projector screen.
I remember
instead
that.
of the tiny little, the micro screen.
I played Final Fantasy X on that screen,
You did.
and I destroyed a controller doing that.
We had to replace one. She broke the joystick on a PlayStation controller.
Why would she do that?
I know, right? But
I
what do you
just
think,
get
Tubby?
too
Should we
into the
call it a
game.
night?
I think we should. I think we got everything
Lieutenant
done.
Data's right that the library is super tiny.
It needs to be bigger. I mean, it's how hard
And
can
there's
it
no
be for
Nintendo
them?
64 in there. But I think they put Mario 64. The
Mario Pack,
the Mario.
right? Yeah,
That was
that's-
for a limited.
I don't want to say scummy also, but that's frustrating as well.
I'm gonna just keep emulating them. But damn, the Switch is just such a convenient little platform,
Mhm.
and I've got
And
that
you-
good D-pad on there now. I want to play all my emulator games on the Switch, but you can't.
And you're Nintendo. You're competing now with Apple and Android and all those people, and you've got this huge library of things
If-
you've already developed that you could
If
be.
Apple would put a controller, sell a first-party controller peripheral that was good. None of the Android ones are any good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
If anybody made a good controller, the Switch would instantly have competition. But it doesn't. There's nothing quite like the Switch
yep.
out there. Nintendo's doing a good job and a bad job.
Yeah, both are possible.
That's true.
My camera didn't overheat. It didn't even complain once.
Job.
Oh no, it says it's warm.
It's fixing
Uh-oh.
too.
We just need to go fast. Is the
Yeah,
secret?
and not pregame as long. 9 o'clock.
That's a good point.
But I say we hang up and call it a night. What do you guys think?
We hang up, but we don't close the browser windows.
No, don't
We
close
wait
the
for the
browser.
upload to finish.
Just
Okay.
But you guys, all you fine folks that tuned into the live stream, you guys have a good night. We appreciate you tuning in.
Thanks a bunch for joining.
Yeah. And I don't know the right things to say. I'm a little confused. I don't know
Like,
what to do with my
subscribe.
hands.
Oh, but they already have. There
Yeah.
are. Tell all your friends to like and subscribe.
There
Just
you go.
walk over to their computer, log into their YouTube account and
And
like and subscribe.
But we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys in Discord, but we'll see you guys next month also.
Yeah, if you're not in Discord, I hope you all are. But check out the links to Discord in the video description, in the stream description, and come tell us what a good job we did.
I'm gonna hit stop now, Tubby.
All right.
Don't say anything else.